Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel'S Mat Chat, and welcome to episode 326 of the podcast. Hope everybody is doing well. Um, wow, this morning I go to bed about 1:30 this morning. I just basically passed out, and just something mysteriously just, you know, got me out of bed this morning. And it was just weird. It was fucking weird. But anyhow, um, why is my camera backwards? Is my situation. It's just gonna have to deal with this for 1 week because this is weird. Like my everything is like somewhat backwards. I'm not gonna fix it or anything like that. So, um, but it's just weird that like I'm raising my right hand, but it's like coming on the what is it called? My computer, it's coming the opposite, so it's going to be really weird. So this is going to be an interesting episode. Um, so I get up, minding my own business and whatnot, and I get a notification, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Seriously, here we the fuck go. So I look at it, and I'm like, oh, there goes the second shoe. Then we got reports from yesterday that John Laurinaitis is like basically ready to turn. And I'm like, well, how the mighty have fallen. I'm going to give you all the latest on this and my feelings on this and how we are going to go forward. But before I do that, please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Visit their website for all your beard essentials. And I want to apologize. I don't have any makeup on. I've been so busy lately with family situations, and this is why I'm late, because I was dealing with family issues, and I want to apologize. Also, please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Visit their website for all your artillery to murder your thirst. Please go check out their whole line. They have spring water, unflavored seltzer water, sparkling water. They also have what is it called? They also have flavored sparkling water and iced tea. Please drink responsibly. If you are an adult and you're able to drink of legal drinking age, hear my warning, please. Then you can use it as mixers. So please do that accordingly. Please also, if you're a coffee aficionado like me, please do me a favor and go check out Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Visit their website for all your coffee essentials. And if you're into skulls, it's a one-stop shop. And if you're a goth, it's a match made in, should I say heaven or hell? Whatever the case may be. Also, please, if you are into independent wrestling promotions, I have one here right in the metro area. We have House of Glory, and their next event will be Saturday, March 2nd. We have the debut of Mustafa Ali, and he's going to be taking on former TNA World Heavyweight Champion Alex Shelley. And that will be on Saturday, March 2nd. And please go get your tickets at hotwrestling.net. Also, if you want to sample, on Friday, April 5th, Wrestling Revolver and House of Glory will be having a show together on WrestleMania weekend. We have Mustafa Ali versus Amazing Red and Alex Shelley versus HOG champion Santana. And also, the Rascals will be in action. So get your tickets at, I believe it's Wrestling Revolver Tix.com. Just look it up and then you can follow. Also, please, if you want to watch any of all back episodes of House of Glory content, you can download the app of Premiere app, and it's only $9.99 a month. So let's get this party started. Okay. Before we do the run-throughs of the week, I want to take care of this Vince McMahon situation. I have the article. I'm going to read it, and then we're going to then discuss a little bit and then just move on. And that's basically it. I mean, there is no news. I don't know what's going to go on, but I know that for a fact that the lawsuit against most likely will be a just basically settlement. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to, that doesn't mean that he's not going to um suffer any consequences in the court of law, meaning that he could most likely get arrested for sex trafficking, which I can't wait for that to happen. So this was all right. Let's start from the beginning. Vince McMahon gained widespread attention after facing allegations of sex trafficking and misconduct from a former WWE employee. These accusations significantly rocked the very foundation of WWE. Now it is appeared U.S. federal authorities are investigating. In the case you weren't aware, shocking allegations of sexual trafficking and misconduct have been levied against Vince McMahon by former WWE employee Janelle Grant. The lawsuit claims that McMahon shared explicit content of Grant without her permission, implicating other WWE employees, undisclosed executives, and stars. Additionally, it alleges that McMahon instructed her to engage in sexual activities with them, which, if you want to go what she did, you go find it out on the documents, because I ain't repeating it. It's disgusting. All right. I am not joking. According to the Wall Street Journal, federal authorities are reportedly investigating sexual assault and sex trafficking allegations against WWE co-founder, former owner Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. New York prosecutors have been in contact with the women who have accused McMahon of sexual misconduct in recent months. Janelle's lawyer also believes more people will speak out against WWE's culture of corruption. WWE has also removed Vince McMahon from the company's amidst ongoing lawsuit. Vince McMahon has already resigned from WWE and TKO for good. We will have to wait to see what becomes of McMahon in the end, as the investigation will certainly open up a can of worms. So that's basically about the whole situation. And I just wanted to touch on that before we got on with the rest of the podcast and whatnot. So, but this is not good, and I want to make it abundantly clear. All right, if he is found not guilty of this, fine. But I am sorry, but there is not a chance in hell, and I'm saying that purposely, that he is going to get away with this. There's no chance. And you know what? It's gonna serve him right. And I'm hoping that, after all this, that, everybody gets theirs. He's in jail, and we as fans, see, this is the beauty of the situation. We have it in our power to legitimately forget about Vince McMahon. We don't have to see him anymore. He's not part of the company. We can move on. The best way we can do that, if things don't go our way and he's actually in jail, and he doesn't go to jail or whatnot, and what we were going to do, we're just going to move on. We're going to move on. And that is the greatest last dig. Like, all right, you own WWE, but you're no longer part of WWE. You're nothing to WWE. And for the alleged person that's also involved in this, which it remains nameless, but we know who it is. So allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because it hasn't been, stated in court documents. Allegedly, Brock Lesnar is basically going to be the same way. And you know what? It couldn't. I love Brock Lesnar, and it disheartened me as a fan to hear about this. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? He's got Rita Mero at home, and he, it just, it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. But that's neither here or there. So I just hope that the women who are going to come forward, they're going to get justice, and we're going to be done with it. We're going to move on and whatnot. Speaking of moving on, we're going to move on from this. I spent quite enough time on it. I want to get through this. I want to get out of here. I want to go take a shower. I want to get relaxed for the evening. I'm going to watch SmackDown. It's the fallout from Royal Rumble. And I hopefully, while you're here, please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications. So when I go live, you will know about it, or I upload a video. Please also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, X, and Cameo. I am on Cameo, so please go check me out there. So hopefully, go check it out. It's all Mel's Mat Chat. It's the same profile picture through everything. I like to keep it consistent. So we're just going to go and, move on, and we're going to go to Monday Night Raw, the fallout from Royal Rumble. Now, we all know that CM Punk is hurt. And we think there's going to be a power struggle. Does Cody go for Roman or go for Seth? Seth, you are just being in a position of kind of making everything unpredictable. You aren't injured. So what we get to WrestleMania, and if Cody chooses you and you can't compete, that's not fair for him. And you're not to finish the story. He's already finished the story with you. He's beaten you 3 times. We don't want to see a 4th time. He hasn't finished the story. He hasn't beaten Roman Reigns. So for him to finish his story, it's got to be Reigns, not with you. Sorry. And because you want the main event. Granted. But that title that's on your waist is not the Dusty title. The Dusty title is the one that fucking Roman is carrying around. It's got the lineage. That doesn't have the lineage. So why would he want that title? It does have the prestige as what Roman is carrying. Seth, you're stupid. You're stupid. Oh, Dustin, because you want the fucking match at WrestleMania. So because of CM Punk getting injured, this is all it's going to be. But let's get to it. Also, by the way, I will be watching Vengeance Day, but I'm not covering it. If you want, I will do a quick video of the review, possibly Monday or Tuesday if I have the opportunity. All right? I'm not going to do a preview and prediction. I know what's going on, but I don't religiously watch it. I got other things to do. WWE lineup for Monday Night Raw. The Intercontinental Champion Gunther versus Kofi Kingston. The Undisputed Tag Team titles, Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. Cody Rhodes will speak. Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and the fallout of the Royal Rumble. Now, before we started Monday Night Raw, Michael Cole was sitting at ringside in his position, and we have a commentary shakeup. We have Pat McAfee now in the position, and what's been rumored and will be confirmed possibly tonight will be Wade Barrett and Corey Graves. Now, you're saying, why Corey Graves? He's not doing play-by-play. He doesn't know how to do it. Yeah, he knows how to do it because he was covering up from Kevin Patrick. So I'm glad that, he's going to be the lead voice. And I trust Corey Graves. I trust Corey Graves with the stories, the moves, everything. And I cannot wait to hear him fully coming out of his shell. Wade Barrett is going to be amazing. Those two are going to fucking knock it dead. It's going to be young. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be, I believe that Corey Graves maybe is going to be the new JR, and Wade Barrett's going to be possibly the new Jerry the King Lawler. So hopefully that's going to be the whole situation in case. Anyway, let's get back to Monday Night Raw. And if you want to know the go-home shows, check out my preview and predictions of the Royal Rumble. It's on the channel, and go check it out. Plus, go check out my review of the 2024 Royal Rumble. It's on the channel, so go check it out. Okay. Punk heads to the ring. His music goes off, and he heads to the ring. Punk gazes at the WrestleMania sign with a sense of reflection, expressing that he came so close and believed that he had it within his grasp. He clarifies that he holds no resentment towards Cody. He had genuinely congratulating him, emphasizing that it's not always about what one deserves, but what they have earned. Punk extends his well wishes to Cody and hopes he can complete his journey, drawing an analogy. He mentions going back to back and challenging. It's just like when the Lightning accomplished it, the Tampa Bay, when they won the Stanley Cup because they were in the Amalie Center in Tampa, Florida, or St. Petersburg, in that area. Punk acknowledges that he has never been a believer in luck, but admits to feeling a bit unlucky at the moment. During the Royal Rumble, he has sustained a torn right tricep. Despite his initial hopes of taping it up and competing at the Elimination Chamber, it's not in the cards, and he asks for no sympathy. He shares that although it's been disappointing, his ultimate dream was to headline WrestleMania, and that may not come to fruition. Reiterating his stance on not wanting anyone to feel pity for him, Punk recounts his friendship with Chad Gilbert, who is battling cancer while being a husband and a father. Punk visits with Chad during chemotherapy sessions serves as a stark reminder of what a real fight is. He humbly acknowledges his own injury and mere flesh wound, and acknowledges that being the best in the world doesn't always translate to victory. I mean, obviously, because when he says the next sentence, it's apparent. He mentions his less successful stint in UFC, but he emphasized he wanted the opportunity, and he earned it. Punk shares his personal struggles with returning to a place he didn't want to be after a decade, expressing that WrestleMania is an anomaly, intimidated him. However, he assures everyone that this setback is just a minor hiccup. He believes that the title best in the world should be reserved for individuals who battle cancer or serve as firefighters. I heard that. I was like, oh, fuck, he's doing it. I'm done. He expressed his dedication to entertaining the audience, acknowledging their support, and vows to continue doing so until he can't compete no more. Punk reflects on overcoming adversity in the past and focuses on those who keep pushing forward. Despite the negativity and doubters, he reaffirms his commitment to preserve. Even though WrestleMania might not be in the cards, as a lifelong Cubs fan, he mentions the similar refrain: there's always next year. 2025 Royal Rumble winner right there, babe. Then, Drew McIntyre comes out. Drew doesn't hold back, admitting that he has said some terrible things to Punk since his return to WWE. He feels that Punk was a negative influence on the locker room and accuses him of being poisoned. However, Drew also concedes that he understands where Punk is coming from. As Punk himself was fired from the company in the past, Drew has undergone some changes lately. And though he's not typically a spiritual person, he reveals that he prayed for a certain outcome, which materialized in the Royal Rumble. Drew specifically targeted Punk, determined to ensure that Punk didn't emerge victorious. Drew questions who will elevate the title to the next level after Seth Rollins' accomplishment, making it clear he didn't want that person to be Punk. Drew admits that upon hearing the news last night, he slept peacefully, indicating that Punk's win in their battle, he considers himself the victor in their ongoing war. He vows to find a way into the world title match, and he intends to live out CM Punk's dream once more. Drew demands that Punk look him in the eye as he speaks to him. Punk responds, stating that his heart aches more than his injured tricep. He asserts his dominance, determination to rehab his tricep, and eventually headline WrestleMania. However, he makes it clear that before that happens, he'll come back and settle the score with Drew. Could we see Drew McIntyre and Punk at WrestleMania? Just as the tensions escalated as Drew punches Punk, but Punk retaliates with barrage of forearms. Drew delivers a headbutt and proceeds to stomp on Punk's injured arm. Just as the brawl intensifies, Sami Zayn comes out and he rushes to the ring attacking Drew. Drew's eyes Punk in the ring from the floor in chaos. So he was like a hunter, a predator, and he's ready to pounce on Punk again. The scene then transitioned to the Judgment Day in the back in their clubhouse. Rhea speaks confidently, stating they shouldn't be concerned about Bayley. Dominic chimes in, warning that if Bayley dares to show face, it will be a mistake on her part. Rhea asserts that she'll take care of Bayley if she decides to challenge them, and emphasizes they will show their true self. They must not make any errors. Priest and Finn both express their determination, affirming their intention to dominate their viciousness. In a different setting, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are seen backstage. Johnny expresses the significance of the moment as they just 2 hours away from their tag team where they were originally formed. They waited 7 long years for this opportunity. Ciampa adds that this is a dream of two of 5-year-old boys dreaming of being in the wrestling ring. This match is why tag team wrestling exists. These are all black and gold guys. They knew that what they had to do. They knew it and they got it done. I am thrilled about the whole situation. So we go to this match. Ciampa and Priest initiate the match, locking up in the center of the ring. Priest backs Ciampa into the corner and lands a punch before setting Ciampa into the turnbuckles. Finn Balor tags and delivers a series of punches to Ciampa. However, he misses a clothesline, allowing Ciampa to counter with a forearm strike. Balor responds with a punch and an elbow, but Ciampa tags in Johnny Gargano. Ciampa and Gargano team up effectively, with Ciampa delivering a Northern Lariat after a clothesline from Gargano. They manage to take care of Balor and then send Priest to the outside with a clothesline. Ciampa and Gargano followed up with a Prasado dives, celebrating their teamwork. basically, they I think they did two tope double tope double tope suicidas. Sorry, celebrating their teamwork. Balor is brought back into the ring and Gargano chops him. Ciampa tags in and Irish whipped Gargano in the corner before delivering a knee strike. Priest tags in and Ciampa kicks him, but Balor strikes Ciampa with a forearm to the head. Priest executes a hot shot on Ciampa against the ring apron, sending him into the ring. Balor tags in, and Priest and Balor kick Ciampa, followed by a scissors kick from Balor that nearly secures a pinfall. Balor applies a reverse chin lock, and Ciampa struggles to reach his corner for a tag. Gargano manages to tag in, but the Priest distracts the referee, preventing him from seeing the tag. Priest kicks Ciampa, and Balor gets a near fall. Priest tags in, striking Ciampa with a forearm. Priest exchanges words with Ciampa before landing punches and elbows to keep Ciampa in the corner. Priest prevents the tag, but Ciampa counters it with a sunset flip for a near fall. Priest retaliates with a rolling elbow and tags in Balor. Ciampa counters Balor's reverse DDT attempt with one of his own. Gargano tags in and clotheslines Balor, delivering a knee and combining a bulldog and clothesline. Balor sends Gargano to the apron, but Johnny responds with a shoulder and thrust kick to Priest. Gargano executes a slingshot spear to Balor for a near fall. Balor hits an elevated elbow drop for a near fall. Priest tags back in, and Ciampa pulls Balor out of the ring. Gargano attempts a roll-up on Priest for a near fall. Priest misses a splash in the corner, and Gargano connects with a assisted Acai DDT for another near fall. Priest blocks Gargano fairy tale ending attempt and hits a back body drop. He then kicks Gargano off the apron. Priest follows up with snapmare, and Balor delivers a slingshot boot. Priest performs a leg drop following a Balor backbreaker for a near fall. Priest sets up for a South of Heaven, but Ciampa counters with a knee strike to break free. Priest executes a tombstone slam, near getting a pinfall that interrupts by Gargano. Balor ascends the turnbuckles as Ciampa crouches him. Gargano slingshots with a DDT while Ciampa hits an air raid crash off the turnbuckle on Balor, nearly securing a pinfall. Ciampa and Gargano executes a knee and super kick combination, but Priest manages to place Balor's leg for the ropes, causing the knee to halt the count. Ciampa goes for a Pasado dive, but Priest counters with a forearm. Gargano follows up with a suicide dive to Priest. Balor uses an inside cradle on Gargano before delivering a sling blade and a drop kick. Gargano avoids a coup de grace and transitions to a Lamasada into the Gargano no escape submission hold. Meanwhile, Ciampa locks in the Sicilian stretch on Priest. However, the Priest breaks the submission hold by Gargano with a side slam. He picked him up, and that's how they broke it. In a thrilling conclusion to the match, Priest makes a tag and knocks Ciampa off the apron. Priest tries to get Gargano up, but Johnny manages to get to his feet and tags in Ciampa. Ciampa unleashes a fury of punches on Priest, while Balor and Gargano also exchange punches. Gargano lands a rolling elbow, but Balor responds with a Pele kick. Ciampa delivers a knee to Balor, but Priest hits Ciampa with a super kick. Priest grabs Ciampa, attempting rage ascents, but Ciampa escapes. Gargano goes for a suicide dive, but Priest catches him and executes a flatliner on the announcer table. After I saw that, I was like, holy shit, they're actually going to fuck. I thought they were going to lose the titles. That's in my opinion. I really thought that they were going to lose the championship. That's what I thought. Ciampa rolls Priest back in the ring and goes for an inside cradle for a near fall. Priest retaliates with a knee strike, setting up for the Razor's Edge. Balor adds a finishing touch with a coup de grace, securing the victory, and we have the winners and retaining the titles are Finn Balor and Damian Priest. This is where finally we see the remnants and the resemble of Judgment Day. Not the Judgment Day joke here. Excuse me. Following the match, GD and Dom join Finn and Priest in the ring to celebrate their successful title defense. Finn grabs the microphone and reminds everybody that they still are champions. Priest speaks up and acknowledges the past few weeks that have shown a different side of the Judgment Day. He suggests they owe an apology to the same person responsible for the change and invites R-Truth to join them in the ring. Priest assures Truth that they won't attack him, and Finn vouches for Priest being a man of his word. Truth thanks Priest for letting him speak, humorously comments that Priest isn't nice enough. He asks everyone to rise for the Judgment Day. Priest admits that he was thinking about Monday when he attacked Truth at the Royal Rumble. Truth confesses that he hasn't been able to sleep and shares that he turned Priest's money into cryptocurrency, filed his taxes, and liquidated all his assets. I would have been like, what the fuck? How did you get all this information? Your ass, I'm going to fucking goddamn put in jail. You got my personal information, bucko. Priest emphasizes the Judgment Day is a family, but Truth isn't officially a part of it. Despite liking Truth and finding him funny, Priest decides to not include him. However, JD suddenly attacks Truth from behind with the microphone and starts punching him. The rest of the Judgment Day members join in, assaulting Truth. Dom climbs to the top rope and delivering a frog splash on Truth. Finn, JD, Dominic, and Priest stand all over Miz and Truth as they lay to the mat because Miz came down to help Truth. The segment transitions to Punk backstage area with Adam Pearce and security. Basically, like, he's hurt and he got hurt more and whatnot. Which, all right, he was crying and I felt so bad. And I just, son of a bitch, fuck, 10 years. I hated this man. I wished that he would never come back to wrestling. He goes to AEW. I warm up to the fact. I gave him a shot, whatnot. Then he comes back to the WWE. I'm like, fuck shit. Here we go. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this whole situation. So, basically I said, fuck it. I'm going to be a fan of his. And I'm glad I am because, when he came back, he proved everybody right with what was going on in AEW. And I see him with the young talent. That's all he wanted to do. But the young talent in AEW, they think they know better. They don't want to take any words from anybody because they know better. And that's the wrong thing to do. Sorry. Here we go. Never have allergies or never have your nose broken. We go to the next match. The next match is announced: Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. That will be later. It was made official that Zayn and McIntyre will be facing later on in the evening. So we go to Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler versus Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. She got it back. Do. Fuck you, Kevin Dunn. Piper immediately splashed Zoe as the match begins. Zoe responded with a jawbreaker, and Piper countered with a forearm. Shayna tags in and lands a kick to Piper's back from the apron. Zoe follows up with a super kick. Shayna enters the match and punches Piper and targeting her elbow. Shayna attempts the Kimura, but Piper goes for a slam. Shayna escapes and continues to target Piper's arm with stomps. Piper backs Shayna in the corner and Chelsea Green tags in. Green and Zoe tag in, and Green evades Zoe's offense, sending her into the ropes. Green executes a Satmare to escape the Karafuda clutch attempt. She avoids a missile dropkick from Zoe and nearly gets a pin. Shayna pulls Piper off the apron, allowing Zoe to connect with the Z360 for the 3 count, and they win. So we go to the back as Cody Rhodes walks backstage. The show goes to a commercial break. Now, I don't know if you've noticed the production has been a little differently, which I'm glad. They show like a little like picture, like maybe who's coming up next, or a little spotlight that who the fuck this person is. They're putting it right in front and center. It's like, hello, this is who it is, and here we are. I like that, and I'm hoping as time goes on, they have like the stats, like just say Seth Rollins' last match with this person was back at this one, and it was for this title, or last time he was on Monday Night Raw, he faced this guy, or heading into his title match, do you know that his opponent had faced one of his adversaries? Something like that with stats and everything. I like that. When I watch the NFL, I like to know like the completions, the yards, the field goal attempts, all that stuff. That's the shit. I'm like, okay, I'm a numbers girl. So it's kind of fun in that way. And I liked during the Royal Rumble, they had like the times on the corner of the television, and I'm like, holy shit, this is actually becoming a sport. Wow, Vince, this is not a fucking goddamn soap opera, which, okay, but it's not like, it still needs to have some more elements of sport, because it's just basically like you're throwing 2 people in the ring, whatever. So during the second hour of the show, a video promoting WrestleMania 40 aired, reminding viewers that the event was just 68 days away. Next, the men's Royal Rumble winner Cody Rhodes made his entrance to the chorus of "You Deserve It." Chants from the audience. Cody engaged in the fans and thanked Samantha Irvin, who introduced him as the winner of the 2023 and the 2024 men's Royal Rumble. He expressed gratitude for the support of the fans over the past weekend, emphasizing how much he needed them. Cody then turned his attention to the WrestleMania sign, indicated his desire to make his WrestleMania 40 challenge official. But before he could do that, Seth Rollins made his entrance and joined Cody Rhodes in the ring. Rollins acknowledged that Cody deserved his recent success and mentioned the mutual respect he had developed despite their differences. He congratulated Cody on winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles and called it a special achievement, which Rollins hasn't had that dubious distinction. Sorry. Rollins suggested that Cody should reconsider his choice of the opponent for WrestleMania and proposes to face him instead of Roman Reigns. The proposal was met with negative response from the audience, chanting, "No, no, no." Rollins claimed that he was the top guy in WWE. Sweetheart, you're the consolation prize. I'm going to bottom line this for people that don't understand this. Rollins was working so fucking hard. They weren't going to give him the secondary title because that's a severe downgrade. So Roman said to both networks, "I ain't working Monday, so what the fuck? I'm not working Monday, so I want to be on SmackDown full time. I don't work Mondays. So Monday we don't have we don't have a world champion. So because of his work, this is what happened. So we can't. So now he's got this title, this new title, this title that doesn't have the lineage of now what Roman has. Roman has the Universal title, the WWE title, and now the undisputed Universal whatever title. Basically, after Roman leaves and Roman loses the title, it's going to become the WWE title all over again. This is because of Vince fucking McMahon. Because he loves Roman. And I fucking, I just have this funny feeling he gets off on him. And I would not be fucking surprised. It only would fucking just be fitting at that point. This proposal was, he claimed that he was the top guy and that the title was this title with the world heavyweight title was more prestigious. Rollins argued that the landscape has changed and Cody should reconsider facing Reigns. He reminds Cody of their shared experience and pointed out that he had been in the main event, not Reigns, last year. Rollins also emphasized the history of the World Heavyweight Championship and its significance as the Workhorse Championship. What about fucking the Intercontinental Championship? Isn't that the Workhorse Championship? Please, Seth, stop this. You're not going to be in the main event. You will never be in the main event until probably you're at the end of your career. To give you, I mean, for Christ's sakes, you did the most fucking histriest thing. You actually kind of sort of main evented. You inserted yourself between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Doesn't that count? Or because it's not the way that Roman's going to get it. Roman has other things going on. You just weren't the guy. You're not the guy. You're the second in line. Always, never the groom, always the best man. Rollins presented Rhodes with a choice. The Hollywood title for posers and the Dusty Rhodes title, symbolizing blue-collar workhorse. He challenged Cody to decide what kind of champion he wanted to be and what title truly represents it. Cody acknowledged his respect for Rollins, and he admitted that this was the last thing he expected to discuss or think about. He told Rollins that he would need some time to consider his decision before dropping the microphone. Rollins displayed a slight smirk as Cody left the ring, but looked back at him before making his exit. In the back area, Kofi Kingston delivered a promo. Let me just tend to this text, and I will be right back. Sorry. So we go to the backstage area. Kofi Kingston delivers a promo. Xavier Woods seated behind him. Kingston emphasizes when people talk about the New Day, they overlook the most crucial aspect, their ability to win championships. He specifically mentioned his received victory over Gunther to capture the Intercontinental Championship. Followed Kings's program, Jey Uso made an entrance. His recent match over Gunther to try to attempt to capture the Intercontinental Championship. During the break, we go to commercial break. During the break, highlights were shown of Braun Breaker performance of the Royal Rumble match, which he's at SmackDown right now, after Bronson Reed made his entrance to the ring. Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. In the match between Jey Uso and Bronson Reed, Jey gained the early advantage by sending Reed to the floor and executing a suicide dive. However, Reed quickly turned the tide by shoving Jey into the ring post. As Reed attempted Reed attempted to charge at Jay. Uso moved out of the way, causing Reed to crash headfirst into the ring post, crashing. This led to a picture-in-picture commercial break. When the action resumed after the break, Cole mentioned there were 14,482 fans in the attendance at Monday Night Raw. Holy shit, that's like a fucking B-level pay-per-view. Dear Lord. Wow. Reed managed to perform a Samoa drop on Jay for a near fall. He then splashed Jay in the corner and climbed to the top rope, attempted by a tsunami splash, but Jay Uso evaded it. Jay seized the opportunity and speared Bronson Reed before finishing him off with a top splash for a victory. Jay Uso emerged victorious in the match against Bronson Reed. So it looks like we're going to be either getting Jay Uso versus Gunther at the Elimination Chamber. But I'm hearing that, and I've read that Gunther cannot go to Australia for some godly reason. I have no idea. Visa issues or whatever the case may be. And I think that's bullshit. So we might have that match at WrestleMania, and then I don't think that's a good idea. I think maybe if they don't give him the world title, I think that maybe if they give him the world title and he faces Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, they need to have the tournament, and the finals need to be at WrestleMania. And I think it should be Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio. And if they're going to give him the Intercontinental title, then do it then. Give him a good 6-month reign, 3 to 6 month reign, and then you start setting up Dominic. Dominic needs that. But that's just me. So we go to Gunther versus Kofi Kingston. As the match begins, Kingston unleashes a fury of punches and follows up with forearms and more punches. Kofi climbed the turnbuckles and delivered punches while Gunther tried to counter. However, Gunther managed to send Kofi to the mat and missed a chop attempt. Gunther then executed a backbreaker and attempted to lock Kofi in a Boston Crab. During the match, Gunther took advantage of choking Kofi in the ropes. Kofi fought back with an elbow and a back heel kick, but faced relentless attack from Gunther, who attacked his back. Gunther performed a seated splash onto Kofi's back and continued to focus on wearing him down. Kofi retaliated with forearms and chops, but Gunther demonstrated his own chop powerness. Kofi briefly went to the outside, allowing Gunther to slam him upon his return. Gunther delivered a European uppercuts, and Kofi answered with punches and headbutts. Kofi managed to counter Gunther's offense, but Gunther caught him and executed a backbreaker. Gunther locked in the Boston Crab once more, putting pressure on Kofi. The match continued with Gunther maintaining control over Kofi Kingston. Kofi managed to reach the rope, prompting a break in the action. Following this commercial break ensues. Upon return, Kofi evades a clothesline and counters with a jumping knee strike. He follows up with a series of chops and well-executed dropkick. However, Kofi misses a jumping clothesline, and Gunther seizes the opportunity, locking in a sleeper hold. Gunther attempts a power bomb, but Kofi fights back with a flurry of punches, sending Gunther over the top rope to the floor. Kofi then goes for a suicide dive, but Gunther catches him and slams Kofi's head onto the apron. Gunther subsequently attempts another power bomb, but Kofi counters it with an Hurricane Rana, sending Gunther crashing into the ring post. Kofi attempts another suicide dive, this time successfully crashing Gunther into the announce table. Kofi then lands his finishing maneuver, Trouble in Paradise, but Gunther rolls out of the ring to avoid being pinned. Kofi continues his offense with kicks to Gunther's ribs and sends him into the ring steps. Kofi unleashes a barrage of punches and even splashes. Gunther back on the ring steps. Both wrestlers narrowly avoid being countered out by the referee. Kofi ascends the top rope and delivers a leg drop for a near fall. Gunther manages to block Kofi Trouble in Paradise. Gunther attempts the Boston Crab, but Kofi counters with an inside cradle. Gunther, Gunther, Gunther responds with clothesline, and Kofi counters with an SOS for another near fall. Gunther retains control by a clothesline, followed by a dropkick, sends Kofi into the turnbuckles. He then finishes the match with a powerbomb, securing the 3 count and retaining his title. So then after the match, Xavier Woods rushes to the ring to check on Kofi's condition. However, Vinci and Kaiser suddenly attack Woods, and Vinci proceeds to assault Kofi, delivering a boot to his head. They eventually kick Kofi out of the ring, and Wood retaliates by going after Vinci and Kaiser. Unfortunately, Kaiser strikes Woods from behind, and Vinci continues to fumble Woods. Finally, they send Woods face first into the ring post, leaving him battered. Gunther announces that their attack is over and exits the scene. Jackie Redmond interviews Sami Zayn, who discusses his matchup against McIntyre. Sami emphasizes that it's been an emotional journey for him and expresses his determination to give Drew a reality check. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre are preparing backstage for their match. Kairi Sane and Asuka face Tegan Nox and Natalya, which they are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. The match starts with Kairi and Tegan, and Kairi finally attempting to hide behind the referee before delivering a kick to Tegan. Tegan quickly counters with a hip and roll up for a near fall. Natalya tags in and works together with Tegan to execute some impressive moves. However, Kairi and Asuka take control, with Asuka eventually sending victory with a reverse DDT and Kairi elbow drop. Kairi and Asuka are declared the winners, basically. It was like, you win, it was over. Jackie Redmond interviews Katana Chance and Kaden Carter in the locker room. They express the determination to regain the titles and announce their rematch schedule for next week. Bayley makes her way to the ring, accompanied by Dakota Kai, Io Sky. She boasts about her accomplishments, including winning the Royal Rumble, and claims that they are taking over the women's division. Rhea interrupts her, stating that Rhea accomplishments don't mean much without the gold. Nia Jax attacks Rhea from behind, and brawl ensues. Nia delivers multiple leg drops and warns Bayley that she won't allow Rhea to make it to WrestleMania. The top that Rhea was wearing, I was praying for a nip slip. Oh, I was praying for a nip slip. I'm saying I'm a good girl. Come on. God, don't fail me now. So basically, we're going to have our first match confirmed. It's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Do I care? Because she's going to lose. Bayley announces that she will make her decision on Friday. Jackie Redmond interviews Drew McIntyre in response to Sami Zayn's comments. Drew affirms that Sami has never beaten him and vows that won't change tonight. We go to that match right now. The match begins with taking control, but Sami fights back with chops and punches. Sami attempts a dive onto Drew, but Drew catches him and tosses him into the announce table. The two wrestlers exchange blows outside the ring, with Sami utilizing the announcing table as a weapon. The action returns to the ring, and Sami manages to mount some offense and hitting him a flip bomb. However, Drew fights back, eventually scores the victory with a Claymore, and Drew McIntyre emerges the winner. So that is that. So now we're going to go to AEW. So please, at this point of the show, please go check out all my people that I've mentioned, the whole giddy up. Go check me out on social media. X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live, you will all know about it. And I upload a video. And if you're going to join me and you're watching this not live, if you want WWE, I just finished that up. This is all AEW now. We're going to go into the next segment, and this is all AEW talk. So we're gearing up for Revolution, and that's, I believe, March 3rd. You know I'm going to be taking care of that. I'm going to be covering it and whatnot. So don't fret. I got you covered. I'm also going to be covering the Elimination Chamber. What it's going to happen, I'm going to have to do a preview and predictions on Friday right after SmackDown. And then as soon as I get home, I'm going to, whatever I have missed, I'm going to go back and watch a little bit. And then I'll do the review. And then, I'll probably watch it again. And if I miss anything, I will bring it up on the next podcast. I hate what they did with this, with my notes and shit. Well, Rampage. We're going to go to Rampage, Collision, and then Dynamite. And then I'm going to get you out of here. And then I'm going to go take my nice hot shower and relax for the rest of the evening and get ready for SmackDown. Tonight's episode of AEW Rampage was broadcast from the Airmark Arena in Savannah, Georgia. I don't like to say it. I don't know if this is going to fucking date me from here to Kingdom Come. There was a show called Designing Women, and there was a actress. Her name was Delta Burke, and she always was her sister's keeper, and she went to bat for her, and she says, she I don't know how they understand how this whole fucking thing came about. I mean, she didn't say fuck you, but this is basically like Reader's Digesting for it. But she embodied being Miss Georgia, and then she goes at the end, when she threw that baton and it went in through the air, and she caught that baton that was and the fire went out, and that was the night that the lights went out in Georgia. And I always, when I say Georgia, I always think of that. I know I'm fucking dating myself. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Oh my God. The shit that I watched with my mom. I love the show Designing Women. And, I may not want to play video games, but I sure shouldn't watch good fucking sitcoms. And that's when fucking shit was good. That you could get away with shit. Like, the sister, the Sugar Baker's sister, that was Dixie Carter, and can't remember, Diane and Suzanne Sugarbaker. That was the characters, and they had a brother, and their brother was in the nut house, so he comes to visit and everything like that, and she's like, where have you been? And I said, I've been here, and I came from Macadamia. Yeah, the nut, because he was in the nut house. So all right, at the time, my uncle, I can't believe I'm sharing this. My uncle, at the time of this, and I saw this, my uncle just passed away. and I knew he had schizophrenia and everything like that, and I knew that he was in a, mental institution and all that stuff. So I basically just, it was normal. It was something part of me. I wasn't ashamed of it. So, and the reason why he had schizophrenia is because he had a bad accident. He hit his head and he developed it. So it's not like it's hereditary. It's just something triggered it in his head. So it's something you can't help. Um, so, um, so yeah, it was like normal, and I just chuckled because it just felt normal. It's like like that, like we do now. Like it's hysterical. But yeah, I'm showing my fucking age. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry, folks. People, I am so sorry. I'm going through a lot of shit right now with my family, and I'm like, it is what it is. But let's move on. Get back to wrestling. Oh, Georgia on my minds, baby. And I got to tell you, Mr. AJ Styles, Mr. Alan Jones, they do make them good down there in Georgia. So, Rampage started off with John Moxley versus Shane Taylor Promotions. This was a really good match. Moriarty took Mox down with a snap bear. Lee flexed and posed and let Mox get to his feet. Lee showed off his technical prowess, taking Mox down again with his side headlock. Moxley escaped and tucked Lee with a running back elbow. Moxley had a face-off with Shane Taylor on the floor. Moxley chopped Moriarty. Lee ducked a lariat attempt and rolled up Mox with a Border City stretch. Moxley lunged towards the ropes, forcing the ref to break the hold. Moriarty and Moxley traded stiff forearms in the center of the ring. Moxley knocked Moriarty's block off. Moxley charged at Lee in the corner with a lariat and then pummeled him with shots. Moriarty blasted Mox with a shotgun dropkick off the second turnbuckle. Moxley was looking for a pile driver on the apron, but Lee countered with a hammerlock, using Mox's own body weight against it, planting Mox hard on the apron. Moriarty connected with a belly suplex and applied cross arm breaker. Moriarty rocked Mox with a high stack German suplex for a near fall. Lee charged at Mox, but Mox wiped him out with a King Kong lariat. Mox was looking for a bulldog choke, but Moriarty escapes and transitions into a Border City stretch. Moxley reversed and crashed down the hammer and elbow strikes. Moriarty fired back with furry offense. Moriarty kicked Mox's arm. Lee went for a springboard forearm, but Mox countered with a big right elbow. Mox stomped Moriarty and then spiked him with a pile driver. Moxley locked in a choke, and Moriarty won via ref stoppage. A victory for John Moxley. One hell of a match for Lee Moriarty, said Excalibur. No question. I think Moxley expected to go along with this with Lee. I'm impressed, replied Menard. After the match, Shane Taylor mauled Mox with a cheap shot. What a sucker punch that was, said Shivani. Moriarty took advantage of Shane Taylor's heavy right hand and stomped on Moxley's injured arm. Renee Paquette was backstage with Anna Jay and Angelo Parker. Parker wanted to know if Anna had anything to do with Harley Cameron kissing him 2 weeks ago. Anna Jay slapped Cool Hand. Anna Jay, I cannot believe you just asked me that. After everything we've been through, I'm so sick of this. Tonight, I was defending you against your girlfriends, but tonight I'm doing this for me. I'm tired of everyone having everyone's back, but no one having mine. Tonight, I am done. Please, I cannot wait for Tay Conti to come back. And I'm hoping she gains her full name, Taynara Conti. The Fallen, Christopher Daniels versus the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita. I really got to start working on my fucking Japanese names, please. Daniels got the jump on Takeshita at the bell. Takeshita walloped Daniels with a massive shot. Takeshita landed on landed the Takeshita line on CD. Takeshita followed up with a dive on Daniels. Takeshita attempted a suplex on Daniels, but headbutted Takeshita, knocking him to the mat. Daniels swung down, driving Takeshita's face first into the mat. Daniels hurled Takeshita with a German suplex. Takeshita countered with an angel wings and dove Daniels down on the back of the head. Takeshita finished off Daniels with a running knee strike and pinned Daniels. A statement made by Takeshita with that victory, said Excalibur. So the Don Callis. I have something important to say. The Don Callis family takes everything. Jericho, you took 33 years from me. I can't get those years back. We took your tag team partner from the Golden Jets. Then we took Sammy, but you keep coming back. Now it's time to end this. So Jericho, in 2 weeks on Dynamite, we challenge you to face the real alpha of professional wrestling, Takeshita, and this time there's going to be nothing left. So at this point, Jericho is doing his cruise. So it's over with, and now we're moving on. Kyle Fletcher, pardon the interruption, Don. Hasn't Takeshita had already a shot at Jericho? Hasn't Will Hobbs had already his shot at Jericho? If anybody deserves the next shot at Chris Jericho, it's me. Callis, you're right, Jericho. You've got Takeshita in 2 weeks. How about next week in New Orleans? You've got Kyle Fletcher. If you've got the guts and what is left at the end of the next 2 weeks is going to be mine. And Jericho, there would be nothing left but tears. Renee Paquette was backstage with Top Flight and Action Andretti and Private Party. Private Party said that they won last time. Action Andretti said next time he'd be in Top Flight's corner watching their back. Anna Jay versus Ruby Soho. Ruby ambushed Anna Jay trying to ruin her homecoming. Ruby whipped Anna into the barricade outside the ring. Anna connected with a high boot to Ruby's face. Anna followed up with a pendulum kick. Saraya swept out Anna Jay on the apron. Anna got to her feet and planted Ruby with a DDT for a near fall. Anna was looking for a Queen Slayer, but Harley grabbed Anna Jay's boot. Saraya held back Anna Jay, but the referee saw it and ejected Saraya and Harley from ringside. Anna attempted a backslide, but Ruby escaped, and Anna with a destination unknown. Anna stunned Ruby with a blockbuster and then forced Ruby to tap out to the Queen Slayer. And I'm still pissed off. I could still be pissed off at this point. We were robbed of 3 fucking matches because of injury and pregnancy. I would have loved to see Brandy Rhodes versus Jay Cargill versus Anna Jay and versus Red Velvet. That fucking pissed me off. That fucking pissed me off to no end. I mean, we can still technically maybe get Brandy Rhodes and Jay Cargill. Maybe Ari Emanuel said, hey, Brandy, you want to come back and we'll pay you $2 million just for one match. The problem is you're going to have to job the fucking Jay Cargill. At least, hopefully, at least then we'll have a decent match, and then it is what it is. Renee Paquette was backstage. Oh, sorry, I read that already, and I'm completely losing my mind here today. Renee Paquette was backstage with the Continental Champion Eddie Kingston. Brian Danielson, you don't respect me. That's fine. I don't respect you at all. I want to be on Collision. I'm going to go against anybody I respect. And if he beats me, he gets a title shot. And said a person, Willie Mack. Me and Willie, we paid our dues. So I want to give you an opportunity. Brian, good luck with Nugata tomorrow. Main event time. Freshly squeezed Fatal 4-Way. Winner will get an opportunity at Orange Cassidy for the Continental Classic title. Oh, no. The Continental title The internet. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? The intercon. The international championship match. Oh, for the love of Pete today. Oh my god. This is what happens when you go to bed at 1:30 and wake up at 6, okay? The winner earns an international championship match on tomorrow's Collision, which was last weekend. Butcher, it'll be Kip Sabian, El Helio Vikingo, Commander, and the Butcher. Butcher turned his back on Sabian and rolled him up for a near fall. Vikingo was swept out Sabian's legs, and Commander with a tope hit a tope on Kip Sabian. Vikingo smashed Butcher with a tope. Butcher blocked a springboard dropkick for Commander and applied a Texas Cloverleaf. Vikingo rocked Butcher with a thrust kick. Kip kicked Vikingo. Kip cannibal Commander in the corner. Butcher went over the top rope with a splash on Commander. Butcher tossed Commander at Kip, and Kip nailed Commander with a lung blower. Kip booted Butcher in the midsection. Butcher stunned Sabian with a backbreaker. Vikingo staggered Butcher with a corkscrew kick. Sabian swept out Vikingo's legs. Commander swallowed Sabian with a Spanish fly for a 2 count. Commander climbed to the top rope, but Vikingo tripped him up. Vikingo climbed to the top, but Butcher put Vikingo on his shoulders. While Vikingo had Commander locked in the suplex position. Kip got on his hands and knees behind Butcher, tripped him up, and knocked all 3 men to the mat. Commander jumped off Alex Abrahante's back like a launching pad and crushed Kip with a Canadian Destroyer on the arena floor. Vikingo took both men out on the floor with a moonsault. Vikingo tried for a moonsault, but Commander booted him. Butcher powered a bomb to Commander and covered him, but Vikingo broke up the pin attempt. Kip snuck in and drilled Commander with a German suplex. Commander reversed a vertical suplex attempt, grabbed Kip's legs, and pinned him. Now we know that it will be Orange Cassidy defending the International Championship tomorrow against Commander on Collision and said Excalibur. We are Collision. Collision is going to be at the Berkshire Grocery Arena at Berkshire City, Louisiana, and then New Orleans at the Uno Lakefront Arena in Orlando or New Orleans, Louisiana. So we're going to have, at that point, we're going to have AEW International Championship match, Cassidy versus Commander, Serena Deeb. First match, it's 2022. Wow, that's not a good year. that's 2 years. Coming up next month is my mother's heavenly birthday on the 26th. Mariah May versus Lady Frost, Continental Champion Eddie Kingston versus Willie Mack, the American Dictator Dragon versus Bryan Danielson versus Yuji Nagata, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus Shane Taylor and Leo Moriarty, the Escape the Cage elimination match, FTR and Daniel Garcia versus the House of Black. Little news on them. Malachi and Buddy want to go back to WWE. I would love to see if they can bring Brody Lee with the trios. If Julia Hart doesn't want to make the jump, I would actually take Zelina Vega and put her in there. Who replaces Zelina Vega? I would actually put Roxanne Perez in there in the LWO. That would make a perfect, transition. She goes with the House of Black because she can pull off that Aaliyah type situation. She can take that Julia Hart's place without a doubt. And we're going to also do some rankings as well on here. I might as well, since we're doing this. It'll be like once a month, so there you go. kicking off Collision tonight, and it'll be the BCC, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor of Shane Taylor Promotions. The teams were all outside the ringside. Moxley choked Shane Taylor with his Blackpool Combat Club t-shirt. Taylor decked Moxley with a stiff shot, knocking Moxley to the mat. Taylor mauled Mox in the corner with forearms. Moxley dodged a splash and tagged out Claudio. Claudio rocked Taylor with European uppercuts. Lee Moriarty jumped in and put Claudio in an octopus hold while Taylor hits Claudio with a cheap shot. Hold on one second. I'm checking something here. Claudio rocked Taylor with a European uppercuts. Lee Moriarty jumped in and put Claudio in an octopus hold while Taylor hit Claudio with a cheap shot. Taylor whipped Moxley into the metal ring steps. Claudio charged at Taylor, but Taylor moved. Claudio's own momentum carried him into and over the steel guardrail. Shane Taylor used his bulk and dropped a leg on Claudio on the apron. Claudio fought out of the opposition's corner. Lee trapped him with a suplex and then an armbar. Taylor tagged in and slammed Claudio. Taylor followed up with the second leg drop of the match. Claudio blocked a suplex attempt from Shane Taylor and walloped Taylor with a vertical suplex of his own. Moxley tagged in and cleaned house. Moxley hoisted up Lee and planted him with a release suplex. Moxley ate an elbow from Lee, and Lee climbed the turnbuckles, about to go for a dropkick when Claudio jumped in and shoved Moxley out of harm's way. Claudio caught Moriarty and placed him in a giant swing. Shane Taylor entered the ring, and he slugged out with Claudio. Claudio knocked Taylor out of the ring with a lariat. Lee snuck up behind Moxley but Moxley stuffed him with a cutter. Taylor tagged in, but Claudio came in from behind, grabbed Taylor, and Moxley nearly decapitated Taylor with a heart attack. Claudio pounced on Taylor with a double foot stomp. Moxley captured Taylor's wrists and stomped on Taylor's head. Moxley locked in the rear naked choke on Taylor and won the match via ref stoppage. Lexi Nair was backstage with the Undisputed Kingdom and Commander. The Undisputed Kingdom had a few words they wanted to say. Before Commander's big match tonight with Orange Cassidy. Roddy told Commander that he had a match scheduled with Orange Cassidy at Revolution. Roddy said Commander could be the champion for 5 weeks until Roddy beats Commander at Revolution. But obviously, the only way that can happen with our help. Roddy asked if they had a deal and grabbed Commander's hand, shaking it as Commander looked confused. He had no idea what they were talking about, said Shivani. He speaks Spanish. Sí, español. Madonna mia. That means, oh my God, or holy shit in Italian, all right? And if you're wondering, I can use that because I'm part Italian, okay? I'm Irish, Italian, Puerto Rican, and German Jewish. So I can use that. Okie dokie. Shockingly, that the International Championship didn't fucking start the fucking Collision. I'm shocked. So we're going into the International Championship match. Cassidy versus Commander. Orange Cassidy chain wrestled at the start of the match. They went for a stalemate. Finally, Orange blasted Commander with a Stundor Millionaire and a spinning DDT. The Undisputed Kingdom walked down the ramp and set up chairs at ringside, looking to scout the match. Commander rattled Cassidy with a DDT. Orange regained momentum with a thrust kick. Commander came back with a destroyer and then a lung burrow for a near fall on Cassidy. Commander frog splashed Orange, but Orange kicked out at a 2 count. Orange grabbed Commander and bashed him with a beach break out of nowhere. Commander ducked the Orange punch and then took down Orange with a Hurricane Rana for near fall. Roderick distracted the referee while the Kingdom held Orange. Roddy was motioning to Commander perched up on the ropes, telling him the door was open. Commander ran the tight ropes, leaped off the rope, but Orange moved. Commander crashed onto Mike Bennett and Tavin. Commander jumped back into the ring, but Orange wasted no time, and he joined Commander with the Orange Punch and scored the pin. Roderick was in the ring, applauding Orange. Roddy presented the belt to Orange, but dropped it. At Orange feet before Orange could grab a hold of it. A camera crew was dispatched to capture a scene backstage. Daniel Garcia was on the concrete floor, writhing in pain, a bloody mess, while Daddy Magic Matt Menard checked on him. Menard signaled for help. Did I care about this match? Absolutely not. Mariah May is basically their version of Tiffany Stratton. They're interchangeable. I legitimately have to look twice to make sure who I'm looking at. That's how crazy it is. Mariah May versus Lady Frost. Mariah May shoved Lady Frost. Lady Frost fired off with an ice-cold chop. Mariah yanked Lady Frost by the hair. Mariah May thawed out Frost with a shotgun dropkick. Mariah May ducked a kick, but Lady Frost flung May with a released German suplex. Lady Frost spiked Mariah May with a chiller driller. Mariah May retaliated with a dropkick off the top rope. Lady Frost clobbered Mariah with a handspring into a cannonball. Lady Frost climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Mariah met her up there. Mariah May nailed Lady Frost with Mayday and pinned Lady Frost. Mariah May has arrived in AEW. I know the talent when I see it, said Nigel. Yeah, and he's fucking drooling. Swerve Strickland had some words for the Hangman Adam Page ahead of his upcoming Dealer's Choice match this Wednesday on Dynamite. Swerve said he's sending Toa Leona to inflict punishment on Page on Dynamite. After the commercial break, Hangman Adam Page responded, Swerve, I've got to pick your opponent, but nothing says I have to tell you who you'll face, so I guess I have to wait the whole effing show to find out. If you don't know who it is, I can't fucking help you. Honestly, you know? Sorry again with the stupid freaking family shit. Sorry. Swerve Strickland. Okay, I already did that. Hey Richard, hi. Continental Crown Championship Eliminator match. Mad King Eddie Kingston versus Willie Mack. Willie Mack charged at Kingston and booted him. I'm doing well. How about yourself, Rich? Mack smashed Kingston with a brainbuster for a near fall. Willie Mack clobbered Kingston with a big splash in the corner, followed up with a standing moonsault for a 2 count. Eddie Kingston, sorry. Kingston chopped and kicked Mack, rebounding nicely. Eddie launched Mack with 8 exploder suplex. Mack's power bombed Kingston for a near fall. They exchanged chops in the center of the ring, blistering the chest of one another. Willie staggered the champ with short jabs. Willie hit a stunner. Willie went for a 6-start splash, but Eddie countered by rising his knees into Willie's ribs. Kingston cracked Mack with a spinning back fist and pinned Mack. As Eddie was walking to the back, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, made his entrance for his match. Danielson walked past Kingston and ignored Kingston. Eddie Kingston decided to join the broadcast booth for the next match. So, That means we're going to have Bryan Danielson versus Blue Justice Yuji Nagata. I'm sorry. I'm like, ugh. So we started. Nagata grabbed a wrist lock on Bryan. Bryan escaped and locked up with Nagata. Nagata lifted up Bryan and with kicks and stomps in the corner. Bryan returned in kind. Bryan suplexed Nagata and tried to lock an armbar. Nagata rolled to the ropes, forcing the ref to break the hold. Danielson started to work on Nagata's knees, drop kicking Nagata's knees as he was trapped in the ropes. Danielson followed up with a shotgun drop kick from the top. Danielson smashed Nagata with a hammer and elbow strikes. Nagata fired back with an exploder suplex. Nagata was looking for a Nagata lock. Danielson struggling to escape. Danielson reverses it and applies the heel hook. Nagata escapes and cracked Danielson with a justice boot. The fans chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Good as well. What do you think Bayley will choose tonight for her opponent at WrestleMania? It's going to be Ego. Rhea got Bayley. Danielson tried to headbutt Nagata off the top rope, but Nagata wouldn't go down. Blue Justice showing off Matras fighting Spears. Nagata with an avalanche exploder and then put Danielson in the Fujiwara armbar. Danielson reached the ropes with his boots, forcing the ref to break the hold. Danielson used the Dragon Screw lay whip on Nagata. Danielson and Nagata traded roundhouse kicks. Danielson caught Nagata in the back with the back of the head with a kick. Danielson rocked Nagata with a running knee strike and pinned Nagata. Danielson and Nagata shook hands, and after the match, showing mutual respect, Danielson flipped off Kingston as Danielson was returning to the locker room. Lexi Nares was backstage for a medical update on Daniel Garcia from FTR. Mark Bristow approached FTR. "My brothers, you know we've been to war against each other. I would go to war on your side. If so, if DG isn't cleared, look no further. Dax, we'll see if Daniel wants to go tonight, but if we need someone, you'll be the first person we'll call." I think my guess is, yeah, she's going to, no. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to quickly school you on this, Rich. Damage control is pretty much done. Bayley is going to be against Io. Bayley deserves that fucking match. She deserves that singles match. She deserves to get that title. And she deserves to be the woman on SmackDown. With Andrade moving over to Raw, you know that Charlotte is going to be over on Raw because she needs to be on the bigger show. SmackDown's no longer the biggest show because she's going to be on there because of the Netflix deal. And then I wouldn't be surprised if they don't hand her the title. Renee Paquette interviewed the Machine Brian Cage. "We are no longer the Ring of Honor six-man champions. We didn't become the AEW Trios champions. And speaking of champions, why in the world is everybody talking about FTW champion Hook? Speaking of Team Taz, that was all me. I was the first FTW champion here in AEW, and all you hear is about Hook." FTW champion Hook interrupted Kate. "Hook, anytime you want another title shot at this, I'm right here." The Professor, Serena Deeb versus Robin Renegade. The fans chanted, welcome back," cheering the returning Deeb. Robin slapped Deeb, and Deeb slapped her right back. Deeb knocked Renegade down with a lariat. Deeb rocked Robin with a neck breaker. Deeb drilled Renegade with a deep tox. Deeb applied the Serenity Lock and forced Renegade to tap out. "Deeb, I have one question. Did you miss me? For the past 15 months, I've been sitting home asking myself if I'm coming back. I'm back. I'm coming back. And tonight I'm standing in this ring, and it feels damn good to be back. And amongst all the questions, one thing I've always been certain in my mind, and it's been why. And it's been why. First, I'm here to elevate the women's division. Second, I'm here to put wrestling back in all elite wrestling. And third, I'm back to become champion. This is not just what I do. This is who I am, and the professor is back. I could see her taking the title off of Julia Hart. That's just my assumption because the new champion for the AEW is going to be Deonna Purrazzo, and I think then after that it's going to go to Mariah May. That's just the way I think this succession of the titles. To be quite fucking honest, I don't. Where the fuck is Thunder Rosa? She never lost the title. And if that's me and I'm dealing with fucking rankings, sweetheart, I don't give a shit who's in these rankings. I never lost the fucking title. I'm cashing in. I want my title back. I deserve a shot to get it back. This is bullshit. The stars of CML are coming to AEW. Catch Mystico, Mascarada Dorada, Valedor Jr., and Hajero next Friday on AEW Rampage. Do I care about them? No, because I have no idea who the fuck these people are. Tony Khan has some way of fucking doing this shit, I swear. Main event time, 6-man elimination steel cage match. Mark Briscoe, FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Hardwood versus the House of Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black. It appears that Mark Briscoe was replacing Daniel Garcia. As the Briscoes making their entrance, the lights went out. When the lights returned, the House of Black stood behind the Briscoe. They threw him off the ramp and sent him crashing through the table below. FTR sprinted up the ramp, but they were outnumbered by the House of Black. Cash grabbed 2 tables from beneath the ring. Buddy catapulted Dax into the steel cage. Garcia appeared on the ramp, throwing the steel chair at Brody. Black backdropped a bandage up Garcia on the ramp. Malachi threw Garcia and Dax into the ring. The House of Black triple teamed Dax in the ring. Cash climbed to the top of the cage, jumped off the very top, and wiped out the entire House of Black below. Dax planted Malachi Black with a spine buster. Brody cracked Cash with a Bossman slam. Buddy and Malachi hurled Garcia into the cage. The House of Black began to scale the cage. FTR and Garcia pulled the House of Black down, preventing him from escaping the cage and winning the match. FTR walked to the cage door. The ref opened the door. Garcia stopped FTR and said, "We're not done with them yet." FTR hit the shatter machine on Black. Brody King retaliated on FTR. Matthews destroyed Dax with a kick. Cash curb stomped Matthews. Dax rocked Black with a brainbuster. "Look at the bodies. Listen to the fans," chanted FTR, said Shivani. Dax was leaving the cage. Brody speared him. Both men escaped the cage. Once you leave, you can't go back in. That's a cool concept. I just want to make sure of that. Make sure you know that. That's a really cool concept, said Shivani. Matthews scored with a meteor on Garcia. Matthews began to scale the chain link, but Cash climbed up after him. Buddy rammed Cash's head into the cage. Cash lost grip and plummeted down, crashing onto the table at ringside. "I don't know if he realizes or not, but Cash has escaped the cage," said Tony Schiavone. "He didn't escape the table," replied Nigel. Garcia slammed Black into the cage, knocking Buddy off the cage. He threw the other table. Black caught Garcia with a knee strike. Garcia rallied back with a running lariat. The fans chant, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Juilliard appeared out of nowhere, scaling the cage and sprayed black mist into Garcia's eyes. Garcia had been blinded, said Shivani. Malachi ordered the referee to open the cage door. Garcia screamed at Black, "Come and finish me." Garcia dared Black to come back in and said Shivani. Garcia ducked a roundhouse kick, which was the fade to Black. from Black. Garcia drilled Black with a pile driver into the steel chair. Garcia, still blinded, began to climb the wall of the cage while Black crawled to the cage open door. Mark Briscoe slammed the door in Black's face. Garcia managed to escape the cage. FTR and Daniel Garcia celebrated with Mark Briscoe. Yep, Malachi and Mr. Buddy Matthews, or Buddy, Buddy Matthews, Murphy, whatever, are definitely going back to WWE. And if it was, and if Brody King is smart enough, he'd join. So this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Unless they're going to split them up and there will be no more House of Black and let everybody do whatever the hell they want. But then they're going to fucking flounder again. So it's a lose-lose situation. Dynamite was coming from the Uno Lakefront Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm telling you, Jeff Hardy does not look like he likes his work. I kid you not. I feel so bad for this guy. But it's also his fault because of him being, in trouble with the law. Keep your fucking nose and clean. Jeff Hardy versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley. CMLL's Mystico sorry, Mascara Dorada 2.0 and Velordo Jr. were watching from ringside. Moxley backed Hardy into the corner and pounded him with strikes. Hardy jumped off the apron and landed on Moxley. Hardy choked Moxley with Hardy's towel. Excalibur notified that the rules would be relaxed for this match. When are they not? There's rarely a fucking DQ in this company. And I've noticed WWE hardly any DQs. They used to be DQs all the fucking time. Moxley drove Hardy down the mat with a tope suicida. Moxley dumped Hardy into the guardrail and then knocked Hardy down with a clothesline. Moxley stomped on Hardy's hand. Moxley walloped Hardy with Hardy in the chest with roundhouse kicks. Jeff Hardy dropped Moxley. Jon Moxley whipped Hardy into the turnbuckles. He followed up with a catapult Jeff's throat onto the bottom rope. Moxley hurled Hardy into the barricade right in front of the luchadors. Hardy reversed another throw, this time walloping Moxley into and over the barricade. The luchadors shoved Moxley and Mox flipped them off with the middle finger. Jeff Hardy threw a steel chair at Moxley's face. Hardy jumped off the steel ring step, but Moxley anticipated and slugged Hardy in the face. Moxley took Excalibur pen, put it through Jeff's earlobe, and then twisted it. Hardy had enough and hit Moxley with a dropkick, a la Randy Orton. Okay? Gives me the heebie-jeebies. Jeff Hardy connected with a Manhattan drop. Moxley retaliated, spiking Hardy with a pile driver for near fall. Hardy nailed Mox with a twist of fate on the apron. Hardy climbed to the top rope and flipped onto Moxley for a 2 count. Hardy climbed up again, but Moxley met him up there, raking Hardy's back. Moxley suplexed Hardy. Hardy and Moxley traded strikes in the center of the ring. Moxley escaped a twist of fate and countered with a cutter. Hardy escaped a paradigm shift encounter with a Russian leg sweep. Hardy hit Mox with a stunner and a twist of fate. Jeff climbed to the top turnbuckle and went for a swanton, but Mox moved out of the way. Jeff crashed and burned. Moxley applied a chokehold and put Jeff Hardy to sleep. Mox won via ref stoppage. Moxley offered the hand to Jeff Hardy, but Jeff Hardy flipped off Moxley. He doesn't even want to be there. I did not expect that at Jeff, said Taz. The CML wrestlers jumped the barricade and got into the ring. Moxley tried to fend them off, but the odds were too great. The BCC weren't in the building tonight, so this was a 4-on-1 beatdown. The locker room cleared out, forcing the luchadors to exit the ring. The only thing I can think of that these guys are going to be in blood and guts, but those, I don't understand. We shouldn't have them. Those guys don't deserve it. So systematically, Tony Khan has a shit ton of fucking people on the roster, but they bring in a new fucking promotion. I understand people working with one another, one or two is like every once in a while, but basically you're putting people on a fucking show that other people that who have been there longer than these guys are getting the shine. Stop it. So we go into Dealer's Choice. Hangman Adam Page versus Toa Leona. This was an incredible match. Page was swinging with big lariats. Toa cracked Page in the ribs with a knee strike. Hangman concentrated with a sliding lariat on Toa. Right on target. Hangman jumped off the turnbuckle and delivered 2 lariats to Toa, but Toa shrugged them off. Toa flattened Hangman with a diving crossbody off the apron and onto the arena floor. Toa pounced on Page with a running shoulder block. The force sent Page over the top rope, crashing onto the floor. Toa had Page in the tree of woe and then followed up with a diving headbutt, smashing him like a human missile. Hangman smashed Toa with a tope suicida. Hangman hit a big crossbody press on Toa for a near fall. Hangman tried for a deadeye, but Toa was too much weight and smothered Page. Toa rocked Page with thrust kicked in a jaw for a near fall. Hangman blocked Page for the raw mana and then swung for the fences with a lariat. Page got Toa up and drilled him with a deadeye. Toa got right back up and clobbered Page with a headbutt. This time Toa hit a raw nana, but Page kicked out at the count of 2. Toa connected with a running senton on the apron. Toa went for a moonsault off the apron, but Page dodged it. Page climbed to the top turnbuckle and hit his own moonsault on Toa. Page attempted a buckshot lariat. Toa ducked it and hoisted Hangman for a Samoan drop. Page held on Toa, cradled Toa, and scored a pin. It was just informed by Tony Khan after Dynamite today. The rankings will be revealed. So we're going to do that right after this, right after Dynamite. It's at Excalibur. Toa charged at Hangman, but Hangman ducked and sent Toa spilling to the floor. Footage shown earlier today, the EVPs, Nicholas and Matthew Jackson, the Young Bucks, arriving at the arena in their chauffeured limo. A production assistant handed them the show format, accidentally calling him Matt and Nick. Nicholas scolded the PA and told him to refer them as Nicholas and Matthew. Nicholas also said the PA would be fine because of that slip-up. Okay. This is going to get old real quickly. I just want to let you know, people. This is going to get old real fucking quickly. Up next, Wardlow versus Commander. Adam Cole joined the commentary for this match. Oh, I feel... why? Why? He could be in fucking WWE. It sucks. Oh, and he probably wouldn't hurt himself because they would actually fucking take care of him and, say, hey, you don't have to be doing this shit. Wardlow flung Commander to the mat. Commander tried for a collar elbow tie-up. That's Raw Power, said Adam Cole. Commander fired back with a pair of drop kicks. Wardlow propped up Wardlow, and Power slammed him. Wardlow threw Commander across the ring, the force spinning Commander like propeller. And let me tell you, since Brock Lesnar is not coming back, I would not be surprised they get a load of Wardlow and say, yes, he will replace Brock Lesnar with no problem. Commander walked the ropes and dropkicked Wardlow, creating an opening for himself. Commander hit a Phoenix Splash for a near fall. Wardlow powerbombed Commander and pinned him. Roderick Strong, Commander, you should have taken the deal that I offered you on Saturday, but now you're going to pay with the price. AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy and the best friends stormed the ring to the ring, even up the odds. Fans chanted, freshly squeezed, freshly squeezed. Roderick Strong, shut up. Hey, thanks for coming out here. See you later. Wardlow is now hurt. So there's two from the Undisputed Kingdom. Tony Schiavone had a sit-down interview with Darby Allin, Sting, and the AEW World Tag Team Champions Absolute Ricky Starks and Big Bill ahead of their title match next week. Starks, I just thought I'd be appropriate for you both to talk since this is about respect now. I want to take this time out to personally tell you, Sting, not to forget that this journey in AEW started with me. Sting, what did I do? You didn't tell me what I did. Starks, you had your first win over me, and that does not sit right. Sorry. Darby, you want to talk about respect? That's what this is about, right? You're saying you respect the icon. Starks, absolutely. Darby, that's a load of crap. This is a stepping stone for you, Ricky. You don't respect Sting. You don't respect anyone. This man's career is not a stepping stone. Starks, you're the one who attached yourself to someone like Sting. The point I'm making next week, two things are going to happen. And I want you to know, I'm going to retain the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Me and Big Bill are going to be the AEW World Tag Team Champions. And secondly, I'm going to get my lick back on you. The chip on my shoulder. Guess what? It ends next week. I'm going to make sure you don't even make it to your retirement. Darby, you, on the other hand, I have no respect for you whatsoever. There's no space in my body for respect for you. Who are you? Big Bill, I'm hearing a lot of talking about Sting and Darby. You two run your mouths. All you two have done is brag about how you are going to go to Revolution without even mentioning us. You have done whatever else you have done what everyone else has done. You have overlooked us. Next Wednesday, you two represent everybody else here. And we're going to take out our frustrations on the two of you. Ricky, Sting. Ricky, I guess I start with you. Said it first. I was the first one that got in your face with you. I kind of admired something about you in those days because you were the only one in those days who had the balls to get in my face and talk some smack. As far as respect goes, you have earned that. Ricky, and you, Big Bill, I have faced many big men in the ring. The only difference is between you and them, they were killers. I'm not sure about you yet. Darby, all right, Ricky, I'm just going to end it here. Look, I respect you. I respect what you do in this ring. But every time you point the finger at somebody else, there's only one person to blame, and that's you. Stark threw his drink in Darby's face. Sting, Stark hit me. Sting, I've always hated talk. Darby, will you hit you in Phoenix? Oh, and I will too. Ring of Honor World Television Champion Kyle Fletcher versus Chris Jericho. Things broke down immediately. Jericho and Fletcher pummeled one another with stiff shots. Fletcher planted Jericho with a Michinoku driver for a near fall. Jericho connected with a drop kick off the turnbuckles. Jericho charged after Don Callis outside the ring. Fletcher caught up with Jericho and blindsided Jericho. Fletcher kicked Jericho in the spine. Fletcher climbed on the top turnbuckle, but Jericho met him up there. Jericho sent Fletcher down with a hard Hurricane Rana. Hobbs distracted the ref while Don Callis swept out Jericho's legs. Fletcher stomped on Jericho. Jericho was sent flying with a half and half suplex from Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher blasted Jericho with a brainbuster for a near fall. Jericho dropped a double leg sledge from the top. Jericho drove Fletcher face first into the mat. Jericho was looking for a lion salt, but Hobbs cracked Jericho while the referee was distracted by Callis. They caught Jericho right in the middle of his favorite move, said Schiavone. Jericho countered a pile driver sweeping out Fletcher's legs and putting on the walls of Jericho. Fletcher lunged for the ropes, grabbed them, and forced the ref to break the hold. Fletcher stunned Jericho with a thrust kick. Jericho smashed Fletcher with a codebreaker out of nowhere. Jericho climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Fletcher blasted Jericho with a thrust kick. Jericho planted Jericho with a brainbuster on the corner for a near fall. Fletcher kicked Jericho in the back of the head, followed up with a thrust kick. Fletcher ducked the Judas effect. Fletcher rocked Jericho with a rolling roundhouse kick. Fletcher rocketed outside the ring with a tope suicida, but Jericho countered with a Judas effect. Powerhouse Hobbs charged at Jericho, but Jericho sidestepped him, sending Hobbs into the steel ring steps. Jericho rolled Fletcher back into the ring. Jericho climbed onto the top turnbuckle and nearly decapitated Fletcher with a Judas effect off the top. Jericho covered Fletcher for the pin. Jericho earned that win, said Schiavone. Boy, did he ever. But I want to point out it took 2 Judas effects to put Kyle Fletcher down, added Excalibur. After the match, the Alpha Konosuke Takesha, the man that will face Jericho next week on Dynamite, walked onto the ramp and started with Jericho. Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Champions, the Bullet Club Gold, and the AEW World Cheers Champions, the Acclaim with Daddy Ass. Jay White, whoa. I love you guys. I'm big fan of scissoring. Does he watch what I think he watches? Okay. I know what he likes to watch on his extracurricular time. But don't forget, we have our own thing too. Guns Up. Max Caster, yo, listen. You've been looking at the 6 men who have dominated trios wrestling for years. But it's not just 6 of us. There's somebody missing. Bowens get Carblade. Colton, they fired Carblade a long time ago. Austin, get Juice Board. Austin, if you're not down with that, the Bang Bang Scissors again, then we've got Daddy Ass, grab the microphone, and Austin's hand. Daddy Ass, I'm literally standing here. Austin, Dad, it's kind of my thing. They pulled a fucking DX, basically. Daddy Ass, well, it was my thing first. Shall we sum him now to do it? So if you're not down with the Bang Bang Scissor game, we got 2 words up, guns up. So they retired the Suck It, and I think maybe Triple H or Shawn Michaels kind of called them and said, all right, it was fun and everything, but it's DX. You're no longer in the company, and I think you need to use something different, which I'm totally for. Taya Valkyrie versus the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm was on commentary for the match. She was accompanied by Luther the Butler and Mariah May. You take a sip because I'm parched. Taya grabbed a handful of Deonna's hair and pushed her back onto the turnbuckles. Deonna pulled Taya to the mat with a wrist lock. Johnny TV Deonna pulled Taya to the mat with a wrist lock. Johnny TV distracted Deonna with it while Taya speared Deonna on the ramp. Back in the ring, Deonna connected with 2 lariats and a knee lift. Deonna blasted Taya with a pump kick. Taya fired back with a sliding lariat. Deonna smashed Taya with a sliding dropkick. Deonna grabbed Taya and whipped her into Toni. Deonna smacked Taya with a pump kick. Deonna put Taya into a submission while staring at Toni Storm and focused Taya on Taya and tapped out. For the first time tonight, Toni Storm with nothing to say, but perhaps a statement victory by Purrazzo, said Excalibur. Renee Paquette backstage with Darby Allin. Renee, I would love to talk to you about your admiration for the Young Bucks. Darby, excuse me. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson showed up wearing headsets. Like 80s headsets. They said it was great. It was a great question, and Darby should answer it. They told Renee she deserves a raise, clearly having put her up to it. Darby, did you tell her to say that? Matthew, we love you, Darb. You're an AEW original. Change the world. You fit that quote. Young, hot star, just like us. No, you're not hot. Take it back a couple of notches here. I just have one thing I am perturbed about. Why are you letting a 65-year-old blood-sucking leech take more money from you out of your pocket? I mean, save some for the rest of us. Am I right? Darb, once Sting is gone, I have a really good idea for a new gimmick. Why don't the 3 of us get together and become a new hot trio? Nicholas, all jokes aside, Darby, we've been back for a month and now you're ducking and dodging us. You're being unprofessional. You've got a problem with us or what? Darby, no offense, but there's only one thing on my mind, and that's the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Matthew, that's right. I guess we're going to have to get his attention in a different way. So we're going to go right into the main event, and I'm hoping I can get you out of here in the next 15 minutes. Main event time. Dealer's choice. Swerve Strickland versus Rob Van Dam, the whole fucking show. But of course, AEW World Champion Samoa Joe joined the broadcast booth for this match. The fans chanted RVD, RVD, RVD. Paige appeared on the screen before the match and told Swerve that not only did Paige get to pick this opponent, but he got to pick the match. So tonight, Swerve, you're wrestling RVD, not in a normal match, in a hardcore match. Good luck. RVD hurled a steel chair. RVD whipped Swerve into the guardrail. Hold on. RVD followed up with a leg lariat, and then RVD blasted Swerve with a roundhouse kick. RVD smashed Swerve on the leg drop on the apron. Fans chanted, "You still got it. You still got it." And by the way, he's WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam. RVD hoisted Swerve onto the barricade and then rocked him with a leg drop off the apron. Back in the ring, Swerve rammed RVD into the steel chair and propped between the turnbuckles. Rob Van Dam used a reversal and sent Swerve into the chair. RVD followed up with a rolling thunder. RVD drop-kicked a chair into Swerve's face, crushing Swerve in the corner. Swerve countered a monkey flip and powerbombed RVD onto the steel chair for a near fall. RVD depositioned, swerved on the top rope. RVD climbed to the top turnbuckle. Out of nowhere, Brian Cage jumped onto the apron and shoved RVD to the mat. FTW Hook sprinted to the ring with a steel chair in hand. Hook waffled Cage in the back of the steel with a steel chair. Hook and Cage rolled ringside as ref RVD watched on. Swerve snuck up behind RVD and reversed Swerve's grasp and nailed him with a kick. Swerve dodged a rolling thunder and planted RVD for a near fall. Swerve sent up a steel chair outside the ring. Swerve backed Van Dam into the chair with a kick. Swerve wrecked RVD with a stomp from the apron. It's onto the steel chair. The back of RVD head hit the ring steps. Swerve climbed to the top rope, but RVD threw a chair at Swerve, sending Swerve crashing off the top rope down through the table on the arena floor. RVD sandwiched Swerve between the two steel chairs. RVD attempted a 5-star frog splash, but Swerve dodged it. Swerve smacked RVD with the house call kick, while RVD holding a steel chair. The chair went right on target RVD's head. Swerve covered RVD, but RVD kicked out at two. Swerve went to the top rope, but RVD met Swerve up there. Swerve shoved RVD's face into the turnbuckle, knocking RVD to the mat. RVD flipped off Swerve, but nonetheless, Swerve crushed RVD with the Swerve stomp and pinned Van Dam. Hangman Adam Page marched down to the ring with a microphone. "Congratulations," Adam Page said. "You evil bastard." Swerve later tonight. The rankings of the AEW World Championship come out, and despite my best efforts, we are both undefeated. So I can only assume that we both at the top of the list. And if you said that you wanted Samoa Joe, you said you wanted the AEW World Championship, I need you to look me in my eyes. I will never let that happen. Swerve, I am next world champion, not you. Swerve, you still don't get it. I've beaten you twice now. I've got nothing to prove. Not to you, not to anyone else. So you could just beat me. Adam Page, you keep saying that because you think you believe it. If you say enough, it'll be true. 2 times we fought, you didn't beat me. It took all of Mogul Embassy. Swerve, I know that you can't. I know that man to man, when it counts, you can't lace my boots. Swerve, you know what? You must be suffering from some suffering or something. But I'll give you what you want, me and you, one more time. This is the 3rd time. And after that, we're done. And I move past you. And all I care about is the AEW World Championship. So Excalibur announced Tony Schiavone made it official next week on Dynamite. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. The winner gets a title shot AEW World at Revolution. And it's going to be a triple threat. It's got to be. So tonight, Rampage at 10 p.m. on TNT, featuring Top Flight versus Private Party, AEW World Tag Team Champs, Absolute Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus The Dark Order, Willow Nightingale versus Queen Amana. We'll hear from the AEW International Champ Orange Cassidy and Best Friends, CML's Mystico, Hecanero, Scarada, Dorada 2.0, Volada Jr. and Christopher Daniels, Matt Sydal, Angela Parker, and Matt Menard. Our Collision, where they're coming from the Burt Ogden Arena in Ellenburg, Texas, featuring the Continental Crown Champion Eddie Kingston versus Bounty Hunter Brian Keith, the American Dragon Brian Danielson versus Hello, and much more. Dynamite on TBS this Wednesday from Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona, featuring the trios match. The stars from CML versus Blackpool Pool Combat Club, Chris Jericho versus Konosuke Takeshita. AEW World Tag Team Title Match. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Sting and Darby Allin. Swerve Strickland versus Adam Page. Winner gets a title shot at AEW World Champion Samoa Joe at Revolution. Plus Tony Khan will have a huge announcement. And if it's not both Okada and Mercedes-Benz and Mercedes Moné, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. So that is that. Let's go to the rankings and then I'll get you out of here. All right. AEW Men's Championships. Men's Champions. World Champion Samoa Joe. TNT Champion Christian Cage. Orange Cassidy. The International Champion. The Continental Champion Eddie Kingston. First, the contenders. One more position. Swerve Strickland. Number 2, Hangman Adam Page. Number 3, Adam Copeland. Number 4, John Moxley. And number 5, Roderick Strong. Women's champions. AEW Women's Champion, Toni Storm. And TBS Champion, Julia Hart. Contenders, number 1, Deonna Purrazzo. Number 2, Thunder Rosa. Number 3, Hikaru Shida. Number 4, Sky Blue. Number 5, Mariah May. Tag Team Champions. I am glad that they didn't put Ring of Honor. I am so fucking glad about this. Tag Team Champion, Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Contenders, number 1, Sting and Darby Allin. Number 2, John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Number 3, Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli. Number 4, Private Party. Number 5, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. AEW Trios Championship, The Acclaim and Daddy Ass. The contenders, the Bullet Club Gold. Number 2, Hardy Boys and Mark Briscoe. Number 3, The Dark Order. Number 4, FTR and Daniel Garcia. Number 5, House of Black. And that is it. And that will be at the end of February when they come out for the rankings. Please do me a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications. So when I go live or I upload a video, you will know about it. Please do me a favor. Go check out the rest of my content on the channel and check out my review of the 2024 Royal Rumble. Please also, please follow me on X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo, all Mel'S Mat Chat. Please do me a favor. Go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com, Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Go check out Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. And please go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. Check out their next event, Saturday, March 2nd, HOG Reckoning. We have the debut of Mustafa Ali versus former TNA World Champion Alex Shelley. Friday, April 5th, Wrestling Revolver and House of Glory will be having a show together WrestleMania weekend. We have Mustafa Ali versus Amazing Red, Alex Shelley versus Hog Champion Mike Santana, and the Rascals will be in action. Get your tickets at WrestlingRevolverTix.com. I think that's what it is. Just look it up, Wrestling Revolver website, whatnot. Please do me a favor and check me here next week at 2 p.m. for episode 327. I love you all. Have a great weekend. I'm going to have myself a great weekend. I don't know what I'm doing about Vengeance. If I do something, it's just probably going to be a review. I'm not doing preview and predictions or anything like that, and you'll get my thoughts on it. So if I do it, you'll know it on X. So follow me there. All right. I love you all. Have a great weekend. And April is coming up. I want to make this abundantly clear. April is coming up very quickly. Autism awareness. So I'm going to be promoting this. Please, do your research. let's be the voice of the voiceless. I was an advocate before the word advocacy was cool. Thank you, Mr. Paul Heyman. So I'm going to be promoting this, and I will be doing this all through April. You know, please also mark it on your calendars, April 2nd for World Autism Awareness Day. And please wear blue and find me on social media, tag me, and just put hashtag World Autism Awareness Day. I would appreciate it because my son is autistic, and that's a day that is just as much very important to me as his birthday, because that is a day that we, as parents, as advocates, as human beings, that we come together and we kick ass for them. And where my son goes and his agency and his facility, they had a fucking Royal Rumble party. Go fucking yeah. I love it. So again, have a great weekend and enjoy. And I love you all. And just, I'm going to start with some kind words. If you don't know, don't judge. Check you next week. I love you all. If I don't do a review of Vengeance. Check you later. Love you all.